so much for being the beating heart of this movement, organizing this, bringing together all of the leaders of the environmental movement from across America at this critical time when we have a chance to change history. We have a chance to pass laws nationally which will change the course of the history of the United States and the history of this planet. Because we have here 1,500 people, 5,500 people, when they go back to their homes, will have the capacity to affect the way in which Washington, D.C. views the election of 2008. And I'll tell you why this is so important. It is that in past generations, when young women wanted to vote, they formed the suffragette movement and they changed the law so that women can vote. When young people were upset with the voting rights laws for the minorities in the South, they became freedom riders and they changed the laws in the United States of America. When young people were unhappy with apartheid in South Africa, they rose up to end apartheid in South Africa. When young people were unhappy with the war in Vietnam, they rose up to end the war in Vietnam. And now the green generation is going to rise up. The green generation is going to rise up to end the red, white, and blue CO2 from going up into the atmosphere that pollutes the entire planet. Let me say this. There is one thing that separates the people in this room and the people of our country on the oil industry, from the coal industry, from the gas industry, from the utility industry, from the nuclear industry, from the automotive industry, on every single issue. There is one thing that separates you and the American people from those industries. You are right and they are wrong on every in the beginning of this year, 2007, because of you, because of this movement, the United Nations has now issued 3 reports that conclusively proves that greenhouse gases and the warming of the planet is caused by human beings. The United States Supreme Court has now ruled in Massachusetts versus EPA that the EPA must do something about CO2 in our atmosphere. That's all of you who are doing that. And you know why we know we're doing well? Because who would have predicted in January of this year that Al Gore would win an Oscar and the Nobel Peace Prize for a slideshow? But it's a slideshow about protecting the planet. We have had 19 of the 20 hottest years in history on this planet in just the last 25 years. The planet has a fever, and there are no emergency rooms for sick planets. We are to prevent this disease from overwhelming the entire planet. Within 10 to 15 years, there will be no snows of Kilimanjaro to inspire the next generation of Hemingways. The oceans are heating up. The fish are disappearing. Mosquito-borne diseases like malaria are now spreading. 400,000 people died last year in India alone from respiratory-related illnesses. Millions of others are going to be affected unless we stop this planet from warming up uncontrollably. 1.2 billion people don't have safe water to drink. We have a challenge for this generation in order to make sure that we change the course of history. And the way we're going to do that is by healing the planet, by building a green revolution into a mighty green wave that is going to sweep over the political landscape in this country. And we are going to say to that gang of polluters that is controlling the policy of our country. You know, GOP used to stand for Grand Old Party. Now it stands for Gang of Polluters. And it's headquartered at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And we have to get rid of this gang.